Hello and welcome to our very frozen Suffolk smallholding, where today we're going to follow Michael round as he feeds the animals and introduce you to a few of them. First of all, we'll feed the pigs, Mary and Lily, who are our breeding sows. Lily is a Duroc cross with a large white. She's a fantastic mother. I'll insert a clip of one of her litters so that you can see the sort of piglet she has. Lily herself was actually supposed to be a meat pig, but she had such a sweet nature and we needed a sow at the time, so she got a reprieve. Here we go. This is Lily's first litter that she had at the beginning of 24, and they are Hampshire crosses. And they were most amazing meat pigs. They grew fantastically, really, really well. Everybody loved them. And on to Mary, who is our Oxford Sandy and Black sow. Now, Mary's had a few issues this year. We've never had trouble with her before as far as piglets are concerned, but this year she has decided that she's going to sit on a couple of them. So a litter of 10 has gone down to a litter of 5. It's very unusual for her. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, if she does it with the next litter, then I'm afraid it'll have to be sausage factory. We can't keep sows that don't produce a decent number of piglets.
Hello, dealers.
As you can see, the 5 she has got are growing nicely. Should do on the amount of milk they're getting. Next we'll go and feed the chickens. While this was being filmed, we were still under the avian restrictions, and unfortunately we couldn't let them out. We can now. In Suffolk we're pretty prone to being put under restrictions. These are our girls. Oh, well, these are my girls. These are a right hodgepodge of chickens, a lot of Indian game and Jersey Giants and one sole little leghorn hen who I reared myself. She was the only chick out of the batch and she became rather too friendly for her own good and now is a troublemaker. Escapes at every opportunity. But they're good layers, so I can't complain. Now you see there are piles of manure here and there. It's because our ground is so clay and so wet and it gets so muddy and so slippery that we can't even sometimes get the tractor onto the field to remove it, so it has to stay there for a week or two until the conditions are right, which it usually is when it's nice and frozen like that. It'll be perfect for moving manure. Now we deep litter the goats. As you will see, we've just recently cleaned them out. The manure's all piled up on the trailer waiting to go. So hopefully that's going to all disappear down to the big field to be composted into the manure that we use on our small holding and on our vegetable plot and other people's vegetable plots. Here are our goats. That's Nell, who's just been fed. She's a Sarnan cross. Very good natured goat. We recently lost her mum, which is very sad. But she was nearly 15, so she did well. That's Nellie, and now we're going to feed Stella and Ellie, who are pure Sarnans. Ellie is prone to having triplets or quads. She never has twins or singles. She's very large again this year, so I'm suspecting triplets. Not as big as when she had the quads, but yeah. And Stella is a young maiden goat. She's not been put in kid this year. We thought she was a bit small, so we're going to run her on for a year, and we'll put her in kid at the end of this year and see what she's like milking wise. All our goats are very heavy milkers, and we do use the milk. We use it for our own purposes, occasionally making cheese, yogurt, and lots of custard. Anyway, no, Michael likes to drink a lot of milk. So as you can see, the ground here is clay, and we have to put tin down, because if you don't, it turns to mud, and then once it's turned to mud and it freezes, it is an ice rink, and it is horrible, and nobody wants to walk on that. So we do try to keep as much of the ground covered as possible. The plan is eventually to put some paths in, but everything costs money and it's not cheap. But we'll get there eventually. We're working on it. Now Michael's off down to the big field to feed the other pigs and the goat. We have a billy goat down there and a mule and some chickens. So we'll just pop down there and feed those. Up the walk down, I'll just suddenly arrive at the next gate. Ping! And as if by magic, everything new. Right, okay. Yeah, just muffle that bit. Yeah, don't want to see that. Okay, thank you. Don't want everyone knowing our combination. Now you'll notice in this field, it's untidy. Now, there's a reason behind this. At the bottom of our field runs a river. And the other year, when we had the massive floods, this part of the field was chest deep in water. And it was flowing really heavily. And we got all of the village's rubbish ended up in our field. We've had pallets and God knows what else, all manner of things, beds, DVDs, books, all sorts of stuff ended up in our field, and so we're still clearing it up. Anyway, here you can see these are Mary's last litter of piglets. They're now about 12 weeks old, and these were not Hampshire crosses. These were crossed with a Oxford Sandhian black boar that we borrow occasionally, called Stanley. You may see him on future videos. And these are Mary's last two. Last two? They weren't the last two, were they? She did have more than two. These were Mary's last litter, and these are two gilts that we kept back. Hopefully for breeding, maybe to replace Mary, because she may need replacing. And who are we off to next? Oh yes, we're off to see Billy Bongo, who's our billy goat, who's no longer fertile, but he's best friends with our mule, and he is almost the same size as the mule. He is a huge billy goat. He was born on the farm. He's one that I hand reared myself. He is a lovely old boy. Doesn't smell anymore. And Victor, who is a mule. He's an Exmoor cross. And no, he doesn't wear a rug. He derugs himself. I have tried many times and many different types of rugs to keep him warm. So before anyone says, your poor horse hasn't got a rug on, he's got a super thick coat. He's part Exmoor. He doesn't feel the cold. And if you put a rug on him, it'll last all of 5 minutes. Anyway, that's the basic feed for the field. We haven't done the rest of the chickens yet, but we'll show you those another time. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll show you some more feeding and other animals later on. Thank you.